Did you watch me live yesterday?
No.
So I went.
I seen you pop up and I was on a call. I was like, fuck's sake. It was propped up, my little thing on the desk. And it just popped. Isaac was live. And I was like, fuck's sake. I normally watch your live.
I think I'm gonna do more lives. I think I've got some big frogs.
Yeah.
That I need to execute. So like the Model Muscle program, I want to create a couple of free guides for people that I want to prioritize. And once those bits are done, I want to then start doing more lives.
Well, right. Here's an idea. Yeah, that's just come to me now while we're recording this. Why don't we you were on about coming in on time and doing 2 episodes in the time that we book.
Should we do a live and then a podcast?
Do a live and a podcast.
Nice.
Because you can double up, can't you? And we're just picking it, and it can be like a 10-minute one or something.
Yeah.
Little lunchtime live like I used to do.
Yeah.
10 minutes, boom, done.
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we should do maybe that 10-15 minutes that we usually fuck about talking about nothing. We'll just turn up on time. So we usually waste about 15 minutes of our podcast time by being late, getting coffee, catching up with Jacob.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably do is just turn up on time.
Not procrastinate.
Use that 15 minutes for the live and then crack on with the podcast. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, so anyway, yesterday I travelled 2 hours to train with Jack. Not this Jack.
Not me.
Jack. I actually don't know how to say his second name. I always call him Jack's. I think it's Jake's. I think it's actually Jake. Jacques. I actually call him Jacques.
Jack Jacques.
Jacques. If anyone knows Jacques, the artist, it's spelled very similar to that. So I call him Jacques.
JB's missus. I hope you listen to this, JB.
I've never actually called him Jacques to his face.
No.
Well, that's what I call you, lad, if you're watching. Like, your name's Jacques to me. So I went to train with Jacques and
did you go to Shreds?
Yeah, Bosch Gym.
Nice, yeah. I've only seen it on his before and after pictures.
Yeah, that lighting's sick, you know.
And his obviously like his posing pictures, or like the little snippets. But I've never been.
No, lad, it's Bosch. Like, equipment's sick. Very small, like smaller than us, but it was nice. It was like a nice atmosphere, you know, like in a lot of gyms.
It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, though, isn't it? So I can't imagine it needs to be huge. It's not like dedicated or prophecy, where it's like
it's small equipment spots. People in there actually know how to train, and there's no dickheads. You know, like in a lot of gyms in Liverpool that shall not be named. Like, everyone's just in there fucking snarling people.
Every gym
thinking
in Liverpool,
there's
everywhere
in Liverpool, because everyone's a fucking insecure muppet.
Basically,
like, so
insecurity runs rife in this city.
So it was just a nice environment, good session. But someone asked me, why are you driving 2 hours to train, like in Shreds? And then I said, I'm going to see Jack, I'm going to catch up with Jack. And he was like, why, lads, it's a bit mad, that. And I was like, well, you don't understand the value of surrounding yourself with people that force you to level up then, do you stupid cunt? That's basically what I said to him.
Really, though? Like,
yeah, right. So what I basically spoke about on that live is, giving away 4 hours of my day driving. It was actually 4.5 because there's a bit of traffic, to go and train with one of my mates sounds like a stupid, inefficient decision. Could have been doing so much more stuff that's going to grow the business, blah, blah, blah. But when you understand the value of surrounding yourself with people that are operating at a level above you, then that no longer seems like a bad decision, because giving away 4 hours isn't really good from a business standpoint. But then when I do that, I get to be in an environment with Jack. First of all, just good to catch up with the mates. Nice to train in a Bosch gym. But I mean, it's like a day out, lad. It was like a day off. It was Boss. Just listening to podcasts and it was Boss. But being able to be in an environment with him, have conversations with him, be able to pick his brain about sort of what he's doing, what his vision plan is, like all these little bits and bobs, then inspires me and gives me a new level of energy to go and operate at a higher level. So the return on investment long term is so much greater, because now I'm just like, obviously it's not just go and train with Jack and next minute I'm up here, but it's like, if you constantly do things like that, surround yourself with these people that are going to drive you to be the best that you can possibly be, then the return on investment, if you just keep doing these things, keep making sacrifices to force yourself to do those things, or to force yourself to be in these environments, the return on investment long term is so much better.
Even last week or the week before, we met up with your client.
Yeah.
After this episode,
I left that conversation
smashing it with their business.
I was actually saying maybe we should look to try and get it on.
Yeah.
I might ask her, but I left that conversation just buzzing.
So, a little bit of backstory. One of Isaac's clients got a really successful clothing business.
Yeah.
And we went and had a conversation with her.
She's looking after my hoodies. Remember from last week?
We went and had a conversation with her last week, and I wasn't even planning on really being there, was I? I was just there, happened to get speaking to her, and just being able to speak to someone. I said this to Rachel when I got home. Being able to speak to someone in a completely different industry with nothing sort of relating to us whatsoever, and just hear about their success and what they've done well and how they're doing stuff. And even just when like we were talking about ideas that we've got. Wow. And for her to just go, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
What's stopping you? And it was like, don't know. And she was like, do it then.
Well, okay. Yeah. It's just
like, if that conversation hadn't have happened, we wouldn't be thinking some of the things that we're thinking now about what we want to try and do over the next like 12, 18 months.
Yeah. 100%.
From one conversation, from an hour of my time.
Yeah.
Completely changed the trajectory.
Trajectory.
I'm not gonna be able to say that.
I'll say it for you. Trajectory
of both our businesses over the next 12, 18, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
From one conversation, 1 hour.
Yeah. And also and it's not even just a one-way street where you go and surround yourself with people that are operating a level above you. I know yesterday when I went to train with Jack's 3 weeks out, his head's fucked, he's tired, he need like that moral support of someone coming to train with him is going to spur him on to go and execute for a couple of, maybe give him a bit of energy to execute for the rest of this week that he wouldn't have had. The conversations that the energy that I would have brought to him may have just leveled him up a little bit as well. So like in that conversation with my client, some of the things that she said were fucking boss, but also she's now made contact with other people that may be able to help her level up in future. I mean, I'm obviously getting hoodies off her. You might at some point in the future. Yeah. It's going to help her. So it's a two-way street. Just surrounding yourself with people who have got the same goals, the same drive, the same energy to achieve their potential in whatever avenue it is so infectious, and it's just almost like a life hack, isn't it?
Yeah. Even like that's probably one of the best things about our communities, when you have like, if I got my client list up now and showed you like the backgrounds of all the people and the personality types and the way they are and put them all in a room together, they probably wouldn't get along. You know what I mean? Like if they were all in an office together, they wouldn't all be going out for like drinks on Friday night and being best mates and like having a WhatsApp group. But they're all inside level 10, wanting to be better, wanting to eat better, wanting to exercise more, wanting to have a clear mind. And all of that brings them together so that they're in this community going, oh, that's a boss idea. Oh, what about that? And like they're coming and bringing stuff and adding like recipe ideas, some of the food things that they come up with and some of like the time-saving hacks and stuff. Like I'm not a busy mum of like 2 or 3 kids, so I can be time efficient, but I don't know the reality of having 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
But there's like 4 or 5 women in that group that do.
Yeah.
Like some of the most time efficient people I've ever met are busy mums who run their own businesses, and they're just like, oh, well, I do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck. Yeah, that's such a good idea. And then I'm leveling up.
Yeah.
From having them come and work with me, but then also everyone else in the community is leveling up. And I'm sure it's exactly the same for you. Like they're all wanting to have more than muscle.
Yeah.
But they're all completely different human beings.
Yeah, 100%. And again, two-way street. So I signed up a client the other day, and usually if someone books a call with me, I'll just go and have a look on Instagram just to sort of see what type of person they are, to see if I think they're going to be right.
Yeah.
For the team.
And there's no like Nazi flags on their profile.
Yeah, just checking. They're not like paedophile or something. You know what I mean? And he had, first of all, he's got a boss dog. Yeah, I don't know if he's listening to this, but that's a sale for me.
He's got a dog. Posted about his dog. Yeah, go
on. He posted a picture of a book called 48 Laws of Power. I think 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I think that's the title, which is a boss book. I've got it. and also Machiavelli's book. I think it's called the Principality, or I can't remember what it's actually called, but that famous Machiavelli book I've also read. And it's like, right, so 2 of the books that you've posted are books that I've read and have had massive impact on my life. So we probably think very similar. You've got a dog, like it's gonna be flying. And then I spoke to him, and I was like, "You're a beast." And when you come on board, it's gonna be great for us as a relationship to be able to force each other to become even more beastly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take you to a new level, obviously, with your physique and your mindset and all of that. But watching you grow and watching the stuff that you go through and the sacrifices that you make and how it changes your life it also feeds back into me. Because I watch and go, oh, it's fucking boss that. And so I get inspired by my own clients as well. When they achieve something absolutely ridiculous, I'm looking at before and after photos, I'm like, fucking hell, that's a joke. Like, I'm proud of myself for being able to do that for them. But also at the same time, like, it's not just me who's doing it. They've made huge sacrifices for me. I'm just like, wow, oh, sick that. And it puts a spring in my step.
It's so
good,
isn't it? Like, I think you almost take that a little bit for granted, don't you? Like, you just get sucked into like the process of like, this is the goal. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is Friday. It's check-in day. Like, give them a response. Give them something to work on. Like, and then when you do stop and like just take a second and look at like, holy fucking shit. Like, I've just had a client start IVF.
Sick.
Because she'd lost enough weight. Sick. And got a BMI. So like your BMI to qualify for IVF on the NHS, you need your BMI to be within a certain range. Got within that straight away, and then went for a appointment this week and messaged her. I was like, how did it go? And she was like, when I seen her put the BMI down and it was way under what I needed it to be.
Sick.
She was like, I was so made up with that. And I was like, I replied back, I was like, that's huge. Like, when we first spoke, you were like, I won't get IVF unless I get to this BMI. And now when you're at that appointment, she's writing down a BMI even lower than what it needs to be. Like, you've done that. You've gone and like, if the IVF works, like, you're going to be a mum. Like, that's fucking huge because of the stuff that you've done over the past couple of months. Yeah. And when you stop and think about it, it's like, holy shit.
And that's as a result of surrounding herself with people that are forcing her to level up.
And then not only that, one, she's an absolute machine, and I need to share this, right? Because it's ridiculous. So she's got like I think it's a 10,500 steps a day step goal, and hasn't missed it for like 14 weeks. Not one single day she hasn't missed it. And she isolated in the house for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Mate. I was like, every time she'd done it when she was sick, I was like, put that in the group right now. Because I've got clients who aren't isolating, who've got a lot of spare time, who are struggling to hit 8. Please go and tell them people that you're in your living room, walking backwards and forwards, getting stepped in. Because you know how important this is. And that, being able to put that in the group, I didn't have to do anything. That's not me. Do you know what I mean? I haven't helped anyone get better. Simply her actions for herself in that group have made other people go, oh fuck, okay, maybe I'm not working hard enough. if she's stomping up and down the living room for an hour and a half tonight getting steps in, okay, maybe I need to pull my finger out. As I'm sat on the couch at 9:30 reading the group chat, she's walking backwards and forwards getting her steps in. Okay, maybe I need to pull my finger out. Do you know what I mean? And like, without that, like, I can't do that for other people. Do you know what I mean? I can't bring that. So she's not, like you said, it's always a two-way street. Like the Jordan Peterson thing from his book, and he says, just assume the person you're speaking to knows something that you don't. And I love that line. Like, that stuck with me after reading that book. And that's one of them. Like, she's ridiculously hardworking. I wouldn't, in fact, if I was isolating for a week, mate, I wouldn't be walking backwards and forwards in the living room and put that. Like, if you were coaching me now for that photo shoot and you said, get walking 10,000 steps in your living room, it wouldn't have got done. I know it wouldn't have got done because the goal didn't mean enough to me.
I was about to say, like, I was going to say because you're a Muppet, but no, it's because it didn't mean enough.
That goal didn't mean enough
like
to
for
me.
her, that IVF, I need to be a mum.
Like,
I don't give a fuck.
Done.
I'm going to do it. I remember in lockdown when, like, everyone was actually scared of COVID and no one was leaving the house in there. like for like the first week, I decided to cut. I used my actual stairs as a stairmaster for me cardio, dripping,
Just walking up and down the stairs.
just dripping with sweat.
Oh, what a fucking weird time in life.
Oh, lad, it's mad, isn't it? This couple of year period will actually be in the history books, and we got to go through it. Just fucking madness.
You were just walking up and down your stairs in your house because we all thought we were gonna die. Fucking hell, that's mad, that, isn't it, when you think about it? Like, there was nothing going on. You could have just went outside. But we all genuinely were like, fucking hell, I might die. Stay in the house. Fuck.
But yeah, so
anyway.
So yeah, the benefit of, and this is what I said on the live yesterday, you have to be willing to, it's like, obviously, like, there's a certain level that you can take yourself to. No matter how you could be surrounded by a load of Muppets, as I said. You could be surrounded by, you could be on your own. You could live on your own. You could have no mates. You could have a gym. Like, you know, like, you could be alone, and whatever situation you find yourself in, you could operate to a certain level. But you're always going to be pushed further when you're surrounded by people who are working towards the same common goal. Not even necessarily a common goal of getting in shape or doing this or doing that specifically, but just moving forwards. When you see people who are just stepping forward every single day, who are inspired by just being better, it's infectious. So you have to be willing to, no matter how much you think you're executing right now, you have to place emphasis on putting yourself in those environments. Whether you have to sacrifice 2 hours of your day to drive to do it, make that decision and do it. Whether you have to pay to be in a room with someone to do it, then do it. If you want to pay to go to a seminar with where there's people who are operating at a certain level, so you can take their knowledge and run with it yourself. Whether you want to pay for the fucking mentorship from Mark Coles, fucking do it. Whether you want to pay for a fucking coach,
pay for